No one prepares teachers for how emotionally demanding this job is. And I don't mean lesson plans and classroom management. I mean this. The truth is, teaching is not just about teaching content. It's about regulating emotions. It's about carrying your students' stories. It's about being on all the time, even on those days when you don't feel like it, when you're exhausted, when you're emotionally drained. And yet, many teachers feel guilty about this, and you shouldn't. What no one tells you about teaching: one, that you're not going to ever feel like you're doing enough, even when you are. Why is that? I'll tell you why. As a teacher, you spend hours of planning. You're constantly making adjustments to your lessons before they start, during the lesson, and even after the lesson. You're worrying about your kids when you're at home. You're grading papers during dinner. You're checking emails and responding to emails at night. You're reteaching, you're reteaching, you're reteaching. And yet, at the end of the day, your brain still says, I should have done more. There's more that I can do. And why is that? Well, because teaching is the kind of work where there's always more to do. It's always another kid who needs help. It's always another way to support a student. It's always another parent to call. There's always a way that you can improve your lesson. There is always more. There is never a finished feeling. And the heart part of teaching is that you care so deeply. You're constantly reevaluating yourself. You're constantly evaluating how things could be better for the students. And the trick is to recognize that you can be effective, you can be loving, you can be intentional, and you can still feel behind. But that feeling just means you care and that you're not failing. You are not failing. Your wins may be small. Oftentimes, it looks like a student who tries for the first time. It looks like a quiet kid in the corner who raises their hand to participate. It looks like a parent saying, thank you for all you have done for my child. It looks like a kid smiling because they feel safe with you. Those things don't appear in your lesson plan. They don't appear on your data trackers, but they are very, very, very important markers to indicate that you are doing more than enough. Reason two, burnout doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like just being tired all the time. I remember those days when I never felt like I got enough sleep. I always felt exhausted emotionally. I was physically drained. People think that burnout looks like crying every day, that it looks like yelling at kids, that it looks like storming out, that it looks like quitting mid year. And sometimes it is. However, more often than not, burnout sneaks in quietly. Like I said, how I felt, you wake up already exhausted and you just got 8 hours of sleep. You're doing the job on autopilot. So you're not really thinking about it, you're just going through the motions. You're losing excitement for things that you normally look forward to. You're too tired to cook. You don't hang out with your friends on the weekend. You're scrolling mindlessly through social media versus doing things that excite you because you feel so tired and your energy is drained. And here's the sneaky part: you still show up to work, you still teach, and you still smile at your students and your coworkers. So nobody realizes that you're actually burned out. Sometimes even you don't realize that you're burned out. Burnout is your body saying, this pace is not sustainable. It's not weakness, it's not a lack of passion, but it's your nervous system waving the white flag. And teachers, we struggle to step back because we care so much. We struggle to step back because we wonder, what will people think about me? we struggle to step back because we're thinking he or she is doing it. I can too. And these struggles don't mean that you're weak, they just mean that you care. As teachers, we struggle to step back because we feel like my kids need me. I don't want to let my team down. Everyone else seems to handle it. And that's fine. That may be, some part of the truth. But in reality, you need to set boundaries. And boundaries are not selfish. Boundaries are about survival, rest, support, saying no, and not being a superhuman. All of those are what will help you last and sustain in this career called teaching. Point three, you can love teaching and still struggle doing the job. It's a paradox that nobody really talks about enough. You can love your students, you can love your classroom community, you can love the growth that you're seeing, you can love the purpose of teaching, and still struggle with unrealistic expectations, still struggle with testing pressure, still struggle with behavior challenges, with lack of support, with your workload. So many of us still struggle with those things, but we learn that it's okay because our work that we're doing is enough. So struggling does not mean that you're weak. It does not mean that you don't care. It means that you do care. You care enough that you want to do better than you think you're doing, although you are doing enough. Caring is setting boundaries. And when you set those boundaries, this helps the work become more sustainable for you, which means that you can be in this work long term and make the impact that you want to make on the kids that you teach. If this video feels a little too close to home, I want you to know that you're not failing, you're not alone, you're human. So if this resonated with you, share this with a teacher who might need to hear this today. And always, please feel free to subscribe to my channel, hit the bell to get notifications whenever I post new videos, which will be weekly. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.